two. We took a brief intermission. When I mean brief, I mean hour or two. But we're back with another video. Here we go. Keeping it same day for you guys. Not trying to make you wait another day to get into this video. Everyone's been dying to hear. So we're back live in the studio, Rockledge, Florida. Beautiful Brevard County. It's getting nippy outside, y'all. It's dropping by the hour. I mean, I'm not here to just report, the tea on my body count, but hey, I'm letting you guys know it is getting chilly out here in Florida. And if that's the case, imagine the rest of the country, man. Y'all stay warm out there. Prayers to everybody out there going through the chill storm, Gotta think about you guys. So we ain't dealing with snow down here. But anyways, let me get into it, man. Body count, part 2. This is me, number 2, giving it to you guys live and direct. All right, so how should I start this video? I basically brought out the rules, what I'm going to be talking about, romantic relationships. Me, as a Christian man, I follow the Word of God, and I make sure if I am to use my, first of all, I don't need to say that this is not for children, but at the same time, this is the raw, honest, real facts of biology, of being a man, and the open door policy of spilling your private doors, romantic relationships into the internet world, which is what I'm about to do. So anybody that doesn't want to hear this, please end this video, hop off the stream. This is not for you. So this is your warning before I get into my real, raw, honest life of my body count. As a Christian man, letting you guys know now, I have been straight my entire life as far as believing and convicted that a man is to be with a woman and a woman is to be with a man when it comes to romance and sex and that intimacy. Now, let's not get away from the fact of love. What Jesus says, there's no greater love than a man lay down his life for his brother. So that is the ultimate, because Jesus did it for us on the cross. So there's levels to understand. I'm not just talking about love. Jesus is love. He died for us. That is love. I'm here talking about my sexual romances and love plasticity of romance, of being attracted to the opposite sex at a young age. I'm going to be talking about, these type of body count experiences. So everybody that wants to hear it, buckle up and get ready for the ride, because this is a Tribe of Benjamin podcast coming to you live with his body count. So we're going to start with like the origins of my life. I feel like that's the best thing to do, is start with the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and start with the beginning. We can go 0 to 5. We can go 5 to 10. We can go 10 to 15. We can go 25 to 30. We can go 30 to now, 35. But the fact is, my body count is my body count through the truth of the memory I have. And your body count has to be yours on the base of your consciousness. You can't lie to what has been recorded in your life already. So what I'm about to say next is just with all due respect to anybody's name I mention, anybody that, takes offense. This is not for you to take offense to. This is my freedom of speech, to speak my truth and my story. And if you are a part of this story, then your name will be mentioned, not to be abused and overused, but to be mentioned as part of the body count. Okay? Cool. So we're about to get into it, y'all. We're going to start with 0 to 10. 0 to 10 was not really, 0 to 10 was not really any romance, any sex. Okay, I was a child and was able to not deal with knowing what that sex, love, romance was at that age. Now, if we're going to talk about molestations that happen and foster care experiences, that'll be a whole nother video. And I've touched on that before, because even those experiences were not uh, penetration senses of molestation. Thankfully, I was on the lighter end of molestation, both defensive and offensive, gestures. So if we're going to talk about 0 to 10 for that, that'd be a whole nother video. But to get from 10 years old to 15, from my memory and my recollection, I never had any actual sexual intercourse from 10 to 15. But what I did discover was pornography and discover, ejaculation and, having your balls actually drop when your puberty starts to begin in your for me, early teens, 12, 13, 14 years old. So that's the discovery on like a man's journey. You might have a dad to teach you. I had to learn it on my own. So I just keep a light on that because there's no body count stuff in there. But in middle school, yeah, kids were having sex. People were giving head and blowjobs and this and that. And I'm not going to talk about whose names and who did what and this and that at this school and blah, blah. Nah. Again, I'm talking about me, my body count. So nothing happens 0 to 15. Let's get into age. What we did 1 to 10. There's nothing there. We go 10 to 15. Nothing there. Then we go 15 to 20. Bingo. We got a couple body counts. So this might just be part 2 right here to know that, hey, there was sexual activity with actual women in Benjamin Martin Smith's life during this 5-year period. 2000, well, I could tell you the date because I was 15 to 20 at the time, but there was no sex at 15 or 16. Mine's blurry, but I'm pretty sure it was 18 when I lost my virginity, and it was right around my birthday. And it was with Hong Nguyen, a Vietnamese woman at the time who was about 15 years old and was going to, where was she going? Old Galley High School. And I was going to Palm Bay High School. You know what I'm saying? So like, that sexual experience was, it was consensual and it was us taking our virginities. And I didn't know what I was doing because it's almost like a body count that it counts, but you didn't know, just like she didn't know. And you guys are discovering each other in our teenage years. And like I told my homie D today, it didn't end well for me. I heard she was hoeing. There's a lot of demonic spirits to lust about and all types of stuff. So I didn't really understand her. She didn't really understand me, but there was sex. There was some type of flame, some type of fantasy we both were chasing. And that's one thing people got to be real, even with the opposite races. Sometimes we're chasing a fantasy and it don't really stay forever. It'll end. You know what I'm saying? It will end. And then you realize you don't even like the person no more. Or your fantasy's over. It wasn't really love, really, to begin with. So, I can give a whole sermon about that, but we ain't doing that right now, okay? We're keeping it G, and we're going to talk about my body count. So, basically now, that was, 18 years old, I think. 2009, between my 17th and 18-year birthday, I met this girl through MySpace, through her twin friends, Colleen and Nancy, who I met in school, the lunchroom. I always had a fantasy from the summer of '09, especially '08. You just learn about anime and Japanese and you want to get with the Asian race. You know what I'm saying? And then you think about how to make that possible. And the first thing you think about, hey, I'm in school. I got to meet a girl in school. So I tried to manifest that, and it happened, and it didn't work out. It was short lived. It didn't work out. And, you know, she lived at the Wickham Club at the time, and I lived with my mom, Karen Smith, and Scott Mayo, and a trailer with my brothers and sisters, Kaya, Brighton, Scotty. So I was trying to get my dick wet and figure out sex and chase my little fantasy. And I'm willing to, we met on homecoming. It was like Halloween or something, or like before that, dancing with each other at 17. I'm 17, she's 15. You know what I'm saying? And then before you know it, um, there were pictures on MySpace, and everybody wanted to know who is that Asian girl this black guy is dancing with, and who's that black guy this Asian girl's with. It like broke the internet of whoever was looking at our pictures up because she posted it on her MySpace. Asian girls figured out how to do all that Giphy and emoji stuff. They were computer nerds. And we were learning from them too, just like they was learning from us with slang and words and LOL and all this stuff. So, end of the day, bruh, the cultures collided for real in '09, '08, 2010, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? I had a crush, on Jordan Chaston, but I never verbalized it. She was a weird girl who wrote wasabi on her foot, and I thought she was cool, and she was an Asian that looked cute, and I never knew her before until I came to Palm Bay High, and we had geometry class. But end of the day, you know, the only Asian girl I was with between 0 to, I mean 15 to 20 was really Hong Nguyen and then Anita Yan. And that's fast forward to 2012 when I'm 20 years old and she's 18 and I meet her at you know, Florida Mall, Auntie Anne's. Asked her for a number, got it, text her, called her, whatever. Met up the following week, went on a date, and now, we're hanging, we're smashing, right? That's the word for having sex. But, end of the day, it was a relationship, it was a body count. So it's important to be open about your life and stuff. And for me, I ascended with Jesus, with Christ. So this is stuff that is dead to me because it's over. None of these people are with me now, but it's important to release that story. And I think, this is what the algorithm was begging for. This is what the AI is begging for. This is what the people in the Matrix are wanting. They want to hear the truth. They want to hear it blasted from the Tribe of Benjamin podcast, like I constantly do for you guys. And they really want me to get on the intimate side about body count because there's been so many women that's been begging me to have sex with them and begging me to look at their butt and their titties and like the whole sexual frustration thing. The whole algorithm of that has been failing around me, at my job, all the jobs, it just doesn't work because I've been celibate. I've been chose to speak this truth and survive all these temptations, post, May 2024. So it's a different bend when it comes to talking about girls and romance and stuff. At the same time, I'll talk with the guys. I'll keep it funny. I keep it light. But the truth is, like, bruh, this is my body count and I'm closed up shop till Jesus provides, women I need to multiply with and build the Tribe of Benjamin kingdom. So I'm not tripping about anything. I like girls. I look here and there, but it's nothing. It's really nothing. I got to understand who the Tribe of Benjamin was in the Bible. He had to live without women for a season for real. So I have to be like that right now. So basically, I was talking about Asian fantasies and how my first girlfriend, I lost my virginity to was Asian. She was Vietnamese. And the funny thing is, she had a shot on her arm. I don't know what kind of shot they give Vietnamese kids when they're young, but I didn't even know. People don't think about you have sex with a girl who has a shot, and those jabs at the time, you don't know what they got and what you're fusing with when you're bodily fluids. This is real stuff I never thought about. And, it's sad a lot of us kids who just crash out on terrible stories of us losing our virginity and like tearing apart our character and our face and our spirit. And it's crazy, bro. So I'm like the one that's kind of opening up and talking about this and helping other men be real about what happened to them, because guys got fucked by witches and bitches and whores and vice versa. But there's so much that hasn't been really opened up about guys because we are men of the world. It's a man's world. Again, we finally see it again. Look at Trump, look at Elon, look at Benjamin, look at Trayvon, look at Apparat, look at David. It's a man's world. But we really, to take it back the way we're taking it, we still are in the baby steps. We got to break down the core of what makes us men and how we exist, and every quantum physic of the X and the Y. The mobsters kissing each other on the cheek is not far-fetched. The Bible talks about greeting each other with a holy kiss, and that's really powerful when a man who is God-fearing can kiss another man, in whatever way that is suitable for them to, and it be a holy moment, a greeting, nothing sexually immoral at all. And that's what we need more of. And, that's what I see on Mel Gibson's face. He just wants to be out of his cage. And a lot of us men are being caged up. And now even some of our cages are being removed. We don't know what to do. We've been caged up so long. We don't know what to do, where to go, how to really fly. So I'm trying to teach you guys how to fly, because I've been learning, and so far all of this has been working. I've been surviving, the whole freaking apocalypse of the AI purge. And you think about, how did he beat the algorithm? How did this kid, dark skin, just continue to make podcast videos and just say whatever the fuck he wants and whatever he feels, whenever he gets high or sober? Like, how come he just does that and even openly talk about how he enjoys medical marijuana and how he loves being back in Florida, where he was born in Titusville, and he's been living in Rockledge and got to Palm Bay and, screamed hallelujah in Miami, and P. Diddy got arrested, and what happened in Austin, Texas with Ye and, Kendrick and Drake, and then what happened in Seattle with William, Bill Anders, Allison Anders, and, just freaking Kendra Frazier and all that. And like, you wonder what happened in Boston with, Bill Walton, and what happened in New York City, Chicago with Michelle Robinson's mom. You know what I'm saying? Michael Robinson's mom. You know what I'm saying? Who y'all know as Michelle Obama's mom. So it's like, this nigga painted a story who y'all saw was a nigga. This is really a half Jewish, half Jew, a golden child from the tribe of Benjamin. And he's inspiring Ben Stiller. He's inspiring uh, everybody who's watching him. He's inspiring Wiz Khalifa. He's inspiring Taylor Gang. He's inspiring the entire planet. He's inspiring Putin, Trump, Elon. He's really a flawed individual who's not here to lie that he doesn't jerk off, and he doesn't, look at pornography, and he isn't weak some days, and doesn't, floss his teeth or skip a shower. He also screams hallelujah at the top of his lungs and proclaims Jesus, is Lord, is King, is his dad. And that's the reason he has beaten, the Matrix, and beaten this purge of the apocalypse of the AI, and that's why I continue to be one of the chosen, one of the four horsemen. Death and Hades have been my companions, protecting me from any harm to come close. Death and Hades swallowed it up. So I've been thankful Jesus showed me you can claim to be Adolf Hitler reincarnated if It makes these people understand who you are, who your tongue is, who your image is. But you give me the glory. It's to give Jesus Christ the glory. Because I am nothing but a vessel. This is Benjamin speaking as a vessel. So doing these YouTube lives and keeping this podcast going is important. I don't promote it and push everybody to watch my thing. I used to do that. And nowadays I'll send links to people who matter, like Traymon and Apparat. But that's it. I don't even give them over flooding of messages. I just keep it real. And I try to move on the spirit, what God tells me when to send it out. So I know these videos are making an impact, and I appreciate everybody who appreciates me and appreciates what Jesus has done with me, with the Tribe of Benjamin podcast, and with this movement God is doing. This is the end of time. The Justin Timberlake song "End of Time." This is it, y'all. We made it. And everybody that's locked in the matrix and living an infinite life, or whatever version you are, um, I understand that everybody that's enslaved to the AI. This is the beast mentioned into the Bible. People love it. You worship it. It is what it is. It's your new world you live in. And I'm not living in there with you, but I am still here in the physical form dealing with Earth in the simulation that be. So I appreciate what seemed to be a truce today, with everybody kind of, not trying to attack me. Felt good. I felt happy, hanging out with Dakota, you know, smoking good herb, walking, riding my bicycle, getting on the bus. It was a great day. Ice Cube, it was a good day. I didn't feel the need. I needed to make a video on this YouTube podcast. Everyone that saw me in real life today and recorded it, you got the footage. So I didn't need to come home and get on stream and do a live just to show you guys video. I'll just give you guys the audio and I'll just report it live from the studio. So I just wanted to paint you guys some type of image from my mind about what's going on and my current thoughts. But the whole point is, the body count video is really just me breaking down and peeling the layers back, like circumcision of the flesh. I'm just peeling back the layers of my intimate love life that was romance, that was a fling, an experience, a fantasy, whatever category of the body count I may not break down or not. But these are, my experiences with women as a Christian man of having sex. So we're talking about the ages of 15 to 20. And we broke down that nothing happened at age 15 or 16. It's right about 17 when the first woman he met, who was 15, a freshman in high school, when he was a senior, he lost his virginity to as the first experience. They had sex maybe 3 times total, 2 or 3 times, I believe, us. And I might speak in the third person, but they had sex, because that's my old life, But that's not me anymore. I don't have any females. Solo dolo with Jesus, and like I said, Try Benjamin podcast. Let's keep it real. The point was the body count. First girl, 09, 2010. And maybe we had 2 or 3 encounters. So if you guys want a video on that, you can ask if you want me to break down the details of Benjamin and Hong Nguyen. But I'm skipping to the next one. So after Hong Nguyen, we got to skip to that relationship ended. Everything ended by January 2010. And shout out to Christina Tran. She was really cool through the internet. We were like phone boyfriend, girlfriend, best friend kind of. And she was Vietnamese or from Laos or something, and really helped me get through the bullshit of the BS relationship of puppy love and stuff I went through with Hung. So without further ado, the transition after age 17, 18, sex, there was nothing for over a year. So January 2010 to January 2011, Benjamin Martin Smith had zero sex after Hung Nguyen. Um, Basically, the world we were living in at the time, men just didn't know what we were doing. We were bastards without fathers, and we even the ones that had fathers had lack of communication, especially in the minority community. And I really feel like the way I was ducking and trying to get around, you know, her, or she was, ducking her parents, and I'm ducking letting anybody of my parents know we're about to have a sexual encounter is a crazy world to have lived in 2009 and 2010. But people relate to what I'm saying because it happened with them. Even friends that, snuck boys or girls in for them to do their thing. That's very common in America, and it happens to in the dark when with law and order everything could have been done properly and we wouldn't have a crazy divorce rate, suicide, and murders, and the way our country's falling apart in America. So my body count is liberation for America, just so you guys know. That's why everyone can't wait for hear my truthful body count. It's liberation for this country. So the Panama Canal boys can be free. You know what I mean? Exodus, shout out Elon. So basically, we're going to keep it going. After Hung Nguyen, January 2010 to the following January 2011, zero intercourse with any female was committed. Um, I met a good friend between the end of 2010, 2011, and her name happened to be Taylor Hayes. And she became um, a frequent church goer with her family, and I became a frequent church goer with all my foster people that raised me. That we entangled cell phone numbers through her sister of being uh, the leader of the sisters of asserting her sister herself into romance of some sort. There was no body count there with Taylor Hayes. So it's just good to be known that what happened was strictly platonic, only kissing, hugging, body heat exchanged, but nothing sexual. So it's important to let this body count be known as one that was non-sex, but was definitely a relationship, whether it was on or off for about a year. Um, Aside from Taylor Hayes, another um, good girlfriend of Benjamin's who they both caught feelings for each other was Amelia Gaia. We had Amelia Gaia around 2010, 2011, who somehow in church as well became good friends with me, with Benjamin, with him, as I tell this story of the body count. And even though we did date again in 2013, and a strange kiss, a corner kiss was exchanged because the vibes weren't there. And still, it was a moment in time where Benjamin had a, close encounter with another female, but there was no sex. So that body count is not to be talked about as, oh, there was sex involved. No, it was just hard feelings involved and the heat of the moment of, skin to skin, face to face, nose to nose, something like that. That should be labeled as a body count, but it's a strictly platonic body count. It doesn't have any sex within it. It's just hug and dub and rub and rub. Even the women that grind on me, like the girl, I don't remember her full name, but her name was Ruth in 2012. That could be labeled a body count, but it was strictly no nothing further than deep making out of, what do you call, like kissing and tongue action and grinding, gyrating on each other. And this was 2012 May. So I don't even think there was any ejaculation after the gyrating. It was just a passion experience. And then we went inside to eat Burger King or to get, it was some Miami shit, bro. I don't know. In a parking lot in the back of the, in the back of my Honda EX, Civic with the sunroof. And she was Haitian and she liked me and I liked her. And shout out to Zach King because Zach King made all that happen. They were his peoples. Zachary King, man. Yeah, we shout out Zach King, man. But, these are like honorable mention body counts, of people that were just love interests. Chelsea St. Cloud, another. Everybody that remembers me doing those videos, and I'll say this now since we're talking about some of these people. When I made the video about Anita Yan, Chelsea St. Cloud, Taylor Hayes, Natalie Pierre Lewis, and what's the last girl's name? Cassandra Razaya. That was back in 2023, and I was saying that in the middle of what my emotions were at a high at the time. When I was loaded on cannabis, I felt the need to try to save women that I had been with or been romantically involved with in the past, and I felt like I could do it. So I was trying to voice it into the universe and really say how I felt, and hopefully that two or three girls would have sticked. But it turned out that hey, whatever I was saying, who knows what it did for the algorithm, what it did for the matrix, what it did for the apocalypse. But that shit was not true. I don't have any wives. I don't have any girlfriend. I have no family. It's just Benjamin Martin Smith himself. You know how that song says, me, myself, and I am single and I'm very happy with my status of leaving the old earth behind and the old heaven behind and welcoming new earth and new heaven and be rebirthed and reincarnated in Jesus Christ, like being baptized. I don't care about anything of the past. I care about Christ and the future and the brothers, the Church of Philadelphia. That's what I represent. So this body count video is honestly kind of laying to rest as well a lot of these experiences, because I'm sure a lot of women that I mentioned and people around the globe, men and women alike, would have voiced their experiences or mentally release their experiences of their body counts, their sex, and all that. But for me, maybe nobody heard enough about my body count, even when I was making videos on Instagram. So this is the chance to really get it off. And, elaboration on each story is not to try to put fame or put anybody under the spotlight. It's just really I could break down, Jane Doe and, Ashley Thompson. I can make up names, but at the same time, this is really what happened and this is who it was. And I don't need to do too much and I don't need to do too little. This is just what happened. So to keep it going, we're talking about age 18 still. After Hung Nguyen, there was nobody. And then the puppy love or honorable mentions were just non-sex. So the honorable mentions go to, like I said before, Taylor Hayes, Amelia Gaia, Chelsea St. Cloud, and that's probably it. I know there were some girls like JL or Rael. There was girls that liked me that I from afar. Bianca, but end of the day, that was just crushes, romantic interests, and puppy love relationships, even in the Christian church world where we were going to at the time. First Pentecostal Church of Palm Bay. So that was 2009. That was 2010. That was 2011. When we get to 2012, that's when Benjamin Martin Smith's body count really explodes that year. And that's why it's such a profound year. When we talk about the calendar year of 2012, there were more than 2 or 3 body count sexual experiences with Benjamin. And it may have shifted altered the paradigm. Matter of fact, I know it shifted and altered the paradigm that is now because of what happened. And NASA, the aliens, the devil, Jesus, everybody witnesses what we do when we have sex with somebody else. It's being witnessed and recorded, whether you know it or not, if your conscience knows it or not. So it's important for me to just tell y'all the truth. 2012 is the year I have stories, I have people's names, and I have things that happened. But up until 2012, all I had was that one experience with the Vietnamese girl, and just some crushes and puppy love affairs. No, strictly platonic. So that is are we on part 2? That was part 2 for you guys, man. We did age 0 to 18. Now, when we get to talking about what happened in 2012, it needs to be known I was 20 years young. 20. So that means we're talking from 20 to 25, what my body count was, at a period of time where it jumped and then stayed. So 20 to 25 is going to be broken down, the age 20 to 25. So anybody that's trying to put my life up to a lie detector test based on all the data they got in their algorithm and their AI and this and that, well, here's your church chance to hear my side of the story on what I can remember my body count being. All right. So aside from that, we're gonna end this video. It's part 2. Again, like I said, this has got to be a series. So I gave you guys my first, and we're going to get to age 20 in the year 2012. We're going to do a body count part 3 in Jesus' name. All right, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. In Jesus' name, we're out. Peace.